So right now we're going to dive into the drop-down menu, and this is probably going to be the number one used menu in Foundation 6. So there's a lot of really great customization options in here to customize its behavior. So let's dive in. I've kind of pre-built a little menu that has a couple drop-downs so we can kind of look to see how things are. And in the settings, the first few are going to be settings that are common to everything, right? You can have a vertical drop-down versus a horizontal. I think most people are going to have a horizontal menu. Vertical would be good if you're in a sidebar or something like that, and you wanted to still have that drop down ability. Okay. Next is on-page navigation. Make sure you check out the video on that. We can still style the active page, and that's kind of reviewed in the menu builder video. If you want to check that out. Now we're starting to get into the more specific options for drop down. I think most of you are gonna be good with the default options, right? We probably want to hover over the menus and have them open. You can disable that option though. You can also make it so it's you have to click the menu to open it instead of hovering. And then we have auto close. Normally you want your submenus to auto close once the mouse leaves them, but you can leave them open if you like, right? Next is click on closing the out. So if you click outside the menu, do you want it to automatically close? Yes. Close on click inside, meaning if you click an item inside the menu, you want to close that menu. And then you can force follow things, right? So this allows you to override clicks and stuff like that, and touch events on mobile. So I think these settings are going to be most likely set as the default. It's going to be good. These are kind of edge case scenarios for you. Submenu alignment. This is actually a really good one, right? So this allows us to adjust where the submenus are aligned. Let's have a look at that. Let's preview this page really quick. And right now, if we hover over these menus, you'll notice that by default, the menus are aligned on the left, or it's automatic, right? So the framework or foundation will determine where to line the menus up at. But you can force it. You can be like, I want my submenus aligned to the left regardless, right? So those are obviously that's still the same. But if we go ahead and do right, okay, this one now aligns to the right, and so does products. Now what happens is product B has a submenu, and it knows it can't go farther to the left, so it changes the position of it so that it never injects a menu off the screen. Next is hover delay. This is the amount of milliseconds where a hover event will be delayed. So if you're just like quickly going over a menu, you don't want a submenu to be triggered by accident. So you can fine tune that number if you don't like the default value. And the next is close time. Like how many milliseconds do I hover off before the menu's closed, right? So that gives us some flexibility. You can keep that submenu there a little bit longer if you like, or a little bit less. Next is the responsive, and this is going to be used a lot probably because the drop-down menu isn't great on mobile, right? So you can actually transform, and again, the orientation you can change. So if you want it to be vertical on medium, or so on and so forth, you can change that. So right now it's a horizontal menu on mobile, but on medium actually, and then once it goes large, it will go vertical, right? So there we go. Then you can also transform, right? So if you wanted to use an accordion on, let's say, large, let's do that. So on large, it turns into accordion, and on medium, it goes to drop down, right? So this is just a convenience. These settings are a convenience so that you don't have to have two menu stacks. You can have one menu that kind of transforms into another. To be honest, you're probably going to transform into a drop-down more than you'll transform the drop-down into something. And the reason for that is your base menu stack, you always want that to be what you want it to be on mobile, right? So chances are on mobile, you might want an accordion or a drill down, okay? And then you're going to transform that to be a drop-down on tablet or desktop. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, you want to start with the menu that you want to have on small devices. Now, obviously, you could have completely different menu structures. So maybe in this example, I want to have a drop down menu on large, but I'm just going to hide it for small, right? So I could just say hide for small only. Then I can implement a different menu stack on small devices. And then, of course, lastly, we have the menu alignment, which gives us a lot of flexibility for aligning. So if we wanted to justify this menu out, we could just look at some of the menu options. So we could say we could justify, we can space, and then there's a new one for menus called autofill, which will allow it to take up the entire, same thing. Actually, let's do like text. If we did text center there, I think it would look a little bit better. Right, there we go. That doesn't look great with a submenu, but that could look great with a normal menu, right? Because the drop downs here are a little bit smaller. So yeah, but that's really cool. I like some of these menu alignment options that we have here. And of course, if we want to do a menu right, which is a big one, right? So we align the menu. Oops, that's text right. I want horizontal right. Here we can have a right aligned menu.